You follow Jesus, right? So if you follow Jesus, you're supposed to fish for men. So if you're not doing it, I didn't say that, indirectly that means you're not following Jesus. Because you're not following his commandment, right? You know what Jesus said in John chapter 14, verse 15? If you truly love me, what he said? Obey my commandments. If you truly love me, what he said? Obey my commandments. And the commandments say what? Follow me, and I will make you fishes of men. I know you follow Jesus. I'm just making a rhetorical remark. Okay, now, do you know what is the percentage of Christians sharing the gospel? Any idea? In a church like this, do you know? But here it's quite high, I can notice that. But what is the normal percentage of Christians sharing the gospel out of 100%? How many percent of people share the gospel? 30? I wish. Sorry? 10%? 5%. In some churches, 1%. Some churches, no percent. Okay? But generally, on average, we have done the study, only 5%. That means you've got 100 people, only 5 people go and share the gospel. It's sad, but it is the truth. Okay? So I think not in grace, grace redemption, no, I think much higher. Okay? Yes. You've got a pastor who leads by example. Okay, now, that is the first commandment, Mark 1:17. You know what is the last commandment Jesus gave before he went up? Anyone know? You look at your notes. Acts 1:8, the last command. What is it? Everyone knows this, right? Quite a famous one. What does it say here? Now everyone read. The Holy Spirit will come upon you, and you will receive power to be my witness in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and the ends of the world. Okay, now, when you share the gospel, who is inside of you? The day you receive Jesus Christ, you receive the Holy Spirit. Okay, has he left you?
No.
Just because you're naughty, has he left you? Just because you sin, he left you? No, he's just putting up with you, right? Everything you do, he still puts up with you. You grieve him. Yes, you grieve him. He becomes really quiet. But he's never left you.
Amen.
Why? Bible says that. John chapter 14, verse 16. You can write that down too if you want. Jesus said, I will go to my Father, and he will send you another comforter. What? He will lead you to all truth, and he will never leave you. You're going to see that word. He says he will never leave you. When you leave this world, when you go to heaven, he's still with you. He will never leave you. To eternity, Holy Spirit is with you. What a beautiful promise that is. God is with you all the way. Eternity. Oh, I want that. So when you are sharing the gospel, remember, you're not doing it with your own flesh. The Holy Spirit is inside of you.
Hallelujah.
So why do you have fear? Why? You said you got fear, some people bring fear. Why you got the Holy Spirit? You have the Lion of Judah inside of you. You got to go like a Lion of Judah. Okay? Now, you receive power to be witness in. Okay, here's the key now. You see how Jesus was amazing, He is very, he's filled of wisdom. He is wisdom, right? You see how he put that? He said first what? Jerusalem, then Judea, then Jerusalem, then Samaria, and then only the ends of earth. Do you know what is the context for our world right now? Context for you. So, what is your Jerusalem? Your family. Your best friend. So actually, you're supposed to share the gospel with them first. But you're putting it off. I don't want things to go wrong with my family. I don't want to lose my faith. No, you've got to share the gospel with your family. That's Jerusalem. Next is what? Judea. That is your neighborhood. Go to your neighborhood. Knock at the door. Share the gospel. I didn't say that. He said that. Samaria is what? Greater Auckland. Like Auckland, all the towns. And finally, ends of the world. By the way, New Zealand is already at the ends of the world. Okay? You already done. If you've done New Zealand, you've done already everything. Okay? So make sure you start with your family and then you go on. Okay? So that is your Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria. So remember that. Always share the gospel with your family members first. Okay, what is that?
We are thinking.
Thinking. What is thinking there? Is that bicycle? Car. Look at it. It's half dead, gone, and there are people watching. Oops. There are a couple of people watching that. See how the car going down. And that is the state of our religion in New Zealand. Okay? Christianity is like that. Give you some stats. In 1991, New Zealand had 70% Christians. Okay? Missionaries were going out from this nation to India, to Fiji. Plenty of missionaries, I know. And then it started to go down. You see how it's going down? In 2013, we have gone down to 47%. Down. And you know this now, right now? It's only 33%. That's all. Very soon it's going to be 20 and then 10%. Okay, now, why? Any idea why this is happening? Anyone? Come on, random. Why do you think religion, or you can say Christianity, is going down? Not sharing the gospel. The main reason, you nailed it exactly. Not sharing the gospel. So what will happen to grace if you don't share the gospel? It will go like that, and you see the people, there's two men at the back, just watching, spectators. Your life will be like that. Just watching, seeing that church is going down and down and down. So what's your job? Leave it to the pastor, to the elder? No. Each one of you who is going to be equipped and trained will now go out and share with your neighbors, with your family, best friend. If you don't know, come and ask me. I can come and visit also and help you. Okay? But you got to do it. Otherwise, that's the state of the nation. That is the state of grace. We don't want that. Okay? We got to rise up. Do you think you can do it?
Amen.
Okay, amen. Okay, we'll continue. Here's the Great Commission. Okay, first we saw first command, and the last command. Now comes the Great Commission. Everyone should know this by heart. Matthew 28, 18 to 20. What? Jesus said, all authority has been given to me in heaven and earth. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them. So that's the next thing. Once they get saved, you need to baptize them. Baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And then you got to teach them. It's very important. Teach them. Teach them to what? Obey. You see, that's what I went back earlier, right? You need to obey God's commandment. Jesus said, if you truly love me, obey my commandments. So you got to teach them how to obey His commandments. And He said what? I will be with you forever. Again, He's giving you the assurance. He's going to be with you. So why are you afraid? Don't be afraid. Holy Spirit is with you. Jesus said, I'm with you. I give you authority. Go and make disciples. You can do it? Another one, Acts 8, 1 and 4. A great wave of persecution. Because Christianity in the first century was not like this. Okay? No one was having a church like this. How peaceful it is. It's peaceful, isn't it? Do you have AK-47 right now coming? Do you have bombs flying here? No. You look at it. So peaceful. You can worship. There's nothing. But in the Acts chapter 8 and 1, verse 1 and 4, it says, great wave of persecution began that day, sweeping the church, and all the believers, except the apostles, were scattered. They were all scattered. They're not like this together. You won't find a group like this. Everyone is scattered. And the believers who were scattered, okay, read what it says there. Everyone say, what it says there? Preach the good news. Was the apostle preaching the good news? No. Who was preaching the good news?
The believers.
The believers were scattered. So all of you are supposed to preach the gospel. Okay, I'll give you a few pictures here. Emperor Nero, I don't know if you heard about him. He's of Rome. He terribly persecuted Christians in 64 AD. This is the first century. You know what he did? Anyone knows? He will put all of them. Anyone been to Italy, the Colosseum? I went there, took a picture. It's beautiful, the place. But over there, he'll put all the Christians facing that opening there. You know what comes out from the opening?
Oh my God.
Real lions. And they will come, they will tear them. They will all be tied. And they will tear them and eat them. There and there. And you know what the Christians were doing? They will be singing hymns. They will be like Stephen. You know when Stephen was stoned, what was he doing? He was praying, he said, I can see Jesus. He was just filled with His glory. This was recorded, that they were filled with the glory and they will sing Him. And for every, and the spectators, they will be like, they'll be shocked that these people, when the lion is coming to eat them, they are just singing and they are with joy. For every believer who is killed, they say 5 Roman people will give their life. You know why? They see these people filled with joy and they realize that they are believers who believe in God and they know where they're going. Because if you are terrified, you won't be singing Him, right? They know where they're going. They're going to heaven. So the peace that they had made all the spectators who are not believers give their life. So that's how Christianity was spreading, through persecution. Now, how many of you are willing to lay down your life now? No hand goes up. Back then, they gave. But good news, you don't have to. Okay? There are other countries doing that for you. Want to know what other countries? By the way, besides the lion, they also crucify the people like that. Put on the cross. Skin them. Okay, I don't want to show. Okay. Do you know how Christianity is spreading in India, China, and Iran? Any idea? Persecution, my friend. They are in prison. You know the Chinese believers in China? You know how? They cannot have Bible. You know what they do? They memorize the whole New Testament. One person will come, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Genesis, what else? Revelation. So they will tell you. They memorize it. Why? Because when the guards come, they have to eat the Bible, the pages they will eat them. Because if they see the evidence, you go under detention. And some get killed. For days you can't see the sun. So they have to be very clever. So they memorize all the scriptures and they eat them. The papers, you can eat the paper. That is persecution in China. India, pastors are being burned. Believers' churches are burned. Here, any churches being burned? We have mosque tragedy, okay? You still have to believe the Muslims, you still have to love the Muslims, okay? Don't hate them, love them, but they are wayward, okay? But there's no persecution for Christians, seriously, there's not much. Okay, what about Iran? Okay, I'll tell you about what's happening in Iran. Right now, the highest and the biggest growth of church in the world is in Iran. They have 25% church growth, more than anywhere. In New Zealand, what is happening? They're going down. They are going up 25% every time. Every year, 25%. They're going up. You know how God is saving them? Any idea? You are not going there, right? Have you gone to Iran to share the gospel? No. Then how are they getting saved? You want to know how? God gave up on us because we are not doing it. He turns up personally in their dreams and visions. He's doing that. If you don't believe, go and read Barnabas' journal. There's journal on martyrdom. There's so many journals out there. Go and find out how they give the statistics. Everywhere, Facebook. Even the kings in Arab Saudi, some of them are getting saved. If they're out there. Why? Jesus come personally. Because you realize that you're not going there. You're so scared. Okay, by the way, we have EE trainers like me. I'm a trainer, right? So there is a trainer like this in Iran. They got caught, 2 of them. You know what they did? The Muslim religious leaders. They took them to a center. You know, you have Otahu here, right? You got a center? You have a center? Like sort of a center? Yeah. Sort of. Okay, let's say there's a center. Over there, the centers are not small, huh? They're big. They put a cross, 2 cross. Took these 2 guys, or trainers like me. I'm having a very safe place here. They got caught. They skinned these 2 guys alive. You can skin, you cut. You can take, just like chicken, you know, you can skin a person. You skin them while they're still alive. I'm telling you the truth. You can go check. And they were crucified on the cross, alive. We are having a good man. But this is the truth. That's why Christianity is blossoming in those countries, because people give their blood. The blood of martyrs. Every time there is a blood shed by martyrs, another revival happens in that place. So when we heard, we all cried. Because one of our brothers